That's a cherry tree right there by the lamp post with several different hostas by it. This is the locust, honey locust. Couldn't think of the name there for a second. We have our forsythia bushes there that started out as very small plants. We got at a rummage sale about the 3rd. Oh, actually, maybe it was earlier than that, beginning of June. And this one was lagging way behind, but now in the last couple weeks it's shot up and it's starting to look like a very substantial plant. And all 3 of them here are really coming in nicely. This coleus has kind of taken over like a weed. There are a couple really nice daylilies that are in this bed, but they're a little hidden. At least one of our peonies looks like it's happy up here now. We had 2 of our peonies that we transplanted, dug up when we built the garden beds, and I don't know if the second one's going to make it or not back there. Back here are these are some hostas that we divided. You can see looks like some slugs are chewing on those leaves. This is a decent sized chunk that we divided out here, and I cut the leaves back quite a bit on these because they had been sunburnt before it went in here. So I think by next year this is really going to look real nice here. So we've kind of learned here that when making these beds we have to be a little more careful about what we do with the sod that we scrape up, because otherwise we are getting grass that's growing back up in the beds in numerous places. And the only thing we've found that's quick, and rather than covering it with newspapers and waiting, or weed killer and waiting, is to take it and just take off the sod and put it into the compost pile and then put in fresh dirt. But with a lot of these beds, that's been a lot of stuff to compost. And anyway, this is a volunteer here. This plant, I assume it's some type of poplar, and it was really small earlier this summer, and I've just given it water a few times, and it's shutting right up. Now this one is this is actual Norway poplar, which is the longest living of the poplars. I planted there about a week and a half ago, and the volunteer is actually taller than it is now. This volunteer was maybe 2.5 feet a month ago. So these poplars are incredibly fast. This is an autumn blaze maple we stuck in here. We had it planted in back, but it was really too close to the poplar that we have back there. Oh, this is very interesting. I don't know what this bush is offhand. Maybe this is a Rose of Sharon, but it's interesting. This later in August here, we're getting some blooms again. We had a lot more blooms earlier in the year, so it's a real pretty bush, real large. I did a little bit of trimming of the older wood off of that. We have a fence I recently rebuilt, and we have a little hidden gate in there to give us some access down here. And this is the outside of the yard here we're walking through. These are all our dogwoods that we planted. This is a Okeme cherry right here in front of us. It's hard to see it. It's not very big, about 5 feet. This is what they have in Washington, D.C. So it's pushing the zone a little bit here, but we're fairly sheltered back here, and so we're giving it a try. Gonna see how it does. We're waiting for some more mulch to come in to better cover this area. Back here around these birches, we have 2 white spire birches here. They've had a little bit of a hard time getting settled here in their location. The far one especially has had more trouble than this one. And we haven't seen them do much growth yet this year, but this one at least seems to have stabilized. It wasn't sure if it was going to make it or not at first. So then you can see our continuing dogwood bed here. We have just a few dogwoods out of the ground yet that we still need to get planted. This is an autumn blaze maple that's been doing well. Been in for about maybe 6 weeks now, and It's looking real nice. Again, it hasn't put on much new growth yet, but it appears nice and healthy. So we have a real nice hosta collection going here. Only difficulty with this bed, we did get some grass growing in it, but I think that giving it a little time, these hostas will become large enough that they'll crowd that out. That tree is a volunteer, and I don't know what it is, but I think it's kind of a neat tree. I hope it's not considered a weed. I've been meaning to look up and figure out what it is. We have a few hostas back here yet that we haven't planted, and here I believe that this is a type of a forsythia bush. We planted this several years ago and didn't really pay much attention to it, but I believe it's a forsythia. So I've been giving it a little water and care this year, and we'll see what happens with it. Quick view. This is kind of our main display of hostas. I don't know how many there are here, 15, 18 different types of hostas that we've collected this year. So I've tried to keep tags by them so we know what they are. We're going to eventually get something a little bit nicer made tag-wise for them. But I think these should fill in real nicely here. We do have a few others that we can sneak in here if there's some areas that aren't filled in, but it's looking pretty good. This is our walkway back to our fenced-in area. This is kind of our side privacy fence made out of dogwoods. There's a rhododendron stuck there in the middle that got a little bit feeble looking, and in its pot I think it didn't get water for a couple days, and then we put it in the ground, and it was just amazing how quickly that thing perked right back up, and now it's looking good. A couple of our large hostas on the side of the bed here. I don't know if this is a type of sunflower or what it is, but we've had a number of these popping up around the yard. I thought they're kind of pretty, so I've left them. We do have some plants left that aren't in the ground yet, and our rocks for building our rock garden. This willow we transplanted from where we built our garden beds, and it's come in real well, and it's definitely growing, and it took it a little while and a little care, but we got it real settled in. That's another little poplar back there. But it's real pretty. It's doing real well with the ferns and everything there. Just give you an overview here. This is you can see the dogwood fence. That's about 35 dogwood bushes that were they're 4 to 5 foot high bushes, and we'll hopefully get this whole thing to grow in real nice and dense. And as it is right now, you can the fence isn't real noticeable in there, the metal fence, but hopefully by next year we'll have that completely hidden. So then we come over by the side of the house, and this is our Japanese maple, which I would say about 5 weeks ago that we put this in, and it's doing extraordinarily well. All this red, the kind of lighter red here, is all new growth, so exceptionally well for just being in that short 5-6 week time frame. One last thing I missed here. This is a pussy willow. It's a French pink pussy willow, and this I put in back here. It kind of got shuffled around a little bit. I was in the front yard for a little while. Then I put it in back here, and after I moved the giant rock, and it is looking really good. It got all this new growth, these light green areas, just in the past 10 days or so. And down here, you can see all the additional new growth. So it barely did anything out in the front yard, but then once it got here, it really liked this spot apparently, and grew a lot.